Hello, I'm Kate and I work for Age UK Sussex, and in today's session I just wanted to talk a little bit about our organisation and the support we provide to older people. So we at Age UK East Sussex are a part of the National Age UK network. However, we're our own independent local charity that provides support to older people, their family and friends, and also professionals working with older people across East Sussex. Now, we have our own board of trustees, we have our own management structure, and we also have to do our own fundraising. So people seem to think that we are funded by the National Age UK, but we have to do our fundraising ourselves. So all our local charity shops, things that people donate and buy, contribute directly to supporting older people across the county. Now, we have a range of services. The first one is information and advice, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that because that's the team that I work in. But we also have social prescribing team, so they work directly with GP surgeries and they provide support to people who have issues that are non-medical and need a bit of further help. We also have a Macmillan Cancer Support Team who provide sort of general support in terms of maybe dog walking, general housework, a bit of social company, sort of practical help to people who are currently being treated for cancer. Now, as part of COVID, we also have a couple of other new services. At the first initial lockdown, we received about 5,000 calls from older people asking for support. And one of the things that we really found was that a lot of older people were feeling very socially isolated. So we have a telephone befriending service where we have a DBS checked and supported volunteer who calls an individual older person, so it's the same volunteer every week, and it's really just for social interaction, having a chat and just checking on their well-being. We also have an emergency shopping team, so if people don't have any family or friends who are able to provide some support around doing shopping or prescriptions, then we also have a team for that. So all of those services are free to access. We also have some private or funded services which come under our independent living services. Now, currently the home support service is up and running, and these are paid staff who go into people's homes to might do housework, help with shopping, help getting people out and about. Sort of just general practical home help. We also have a gardening and foot care service, but currently due to the restrictions, those are not up and running. If you're interested in any of our services at all, you can give us a call. Our telephone number is 01273 476 704. But also if you email information@ageuk.eastsussex.org.uk, we can get back to you. We also have a lot of information about what we do on our website. So I work within the information and advice team, and we provide free, local and confidential advice to older people, their families and friends and professionals. So we cover every subject under the sun, and whatever people call about, we will try and support them. We don't profess to knowing everything, but if we don't, we can go back and do some research, or we can signpost or refer to another organisation that can. One of the big things that we do is welfare benefit support, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But we provide support around housing, we look at health and social care, so that might be accessing a needs assessment or financial assessment, that might be discharge from hospital, it might be accessing transport to get to hospital, whatever people ring us about, we can support them with. The information advice service is currently open Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays 10 till 3 p.m. prior to COVID, we did drop-ins and face-to-face appointments, but at the moment we're providing a telephone support service. So if you ring our main switchboard on the 01273 476 704, they will contact the team and one of us will give you a call back to see how we can help. It'd be very helpful to have your name, obviously a contact telephone number where we can ring you, but a little bit of detail about what you're asking for and also where you live in the county. Part of our role, we give out guides and fact sheets, and these have been produced by Age UK National. They've created, I would say, probably around 100 different guides and fact sheets that are really useful, very easy to read and very accessible. So it covers a whole range of different subjects, and I've put a few down below on the presentation, but we have ones, all sorts of different ones. So this one here is a guide, advice for carers. We also have here getting help at home, and we have another one about looking at care homes. Now the care home one comes with a really useful guide, which is a care home checklist. So these are all the questions and things you want to think about if you're looking at care homes. We also do them around different medical conditions and information on that. So this one here is around living with early stage dementia. And this one here is around staying steady. So looking at falls and mobility. We also do an individual guide for each of the different benefits that people can claim. So this is attendance allowance, here we've got carers allowance, and this one is pension credit. We also do ones with sort of legal information, so we have a really good useful guide around power of attorney. So if anybody's interested in getting a guide, maybe you've got some thoughts and feelings about something and you want to do a little bit of research, contact us and then we can send those out to you and then have a read, and maybe if you've got any questions or issues with those, then give us another call back and we can kind of talk those through with you. So they are, we can send those out, but they're also available electronically online from the National Age UK website. At the moment, the INA team, Information Advice, are looking at winter warmth. I think because the weather's got a lot colder and people are having to stay at home more because of the restrictions, we are seeing a lot more people who are worried about paying for their fuel bills and keeping their homes warm. And for older people, it's really important that their homes are kept warm because it has a big impact on their health and well-being. So the team can provide practical advice on reducing heating costs, but we're also able to check to see whether people are eligible for certain benefits and apply for grants and help to do that process. Anybody who calls us up, we'll be sending them out a couple of guides. The first one is the Winter Wrapped Up Guide, which has lots of information about staying warm and well over the winter. And this has a really good, easy to read home thermometer so that people can check that their homes are at the right temperature. The other guide we send out is the Save Energy, Pay Less, which gives lots of useful ideas on how to reduce energy costs. We're helping people to check whether they're getting all the help that they're entitled to in terms of heating costs. Winter fuel payments, which is an annual payment for older people, most people should be getting that. But we're just checking that people who are on certain benefits will be able to access cold weather payments. So this is a payment, an extra payment if the temperature goes below 0 degrees. The other one we're working on is the warm home discount. Now, older people who are entitled to pension credit will automatically be getting the warm home discount, but we're trying to focus on those people who are on a low income who may be eligible to apply for it under the broader group. The warm home discount is based on a first come, first served basis. So we're very interested in people who might think they might be entitled to get the warm home discount, and we can help them to apply. We're also sending out information this year on smart meters. During the lockdown, we had a lot of calls from older people who were feeling very stressed out and worried about having estimated bills. Where previously they had people coming in to read their meters, a lot of the energy companies aren't doing that because of restrictions. So they were receiving very high energy bills, which was causing a lot of stress and anxiety. Now, with smart meters, that removes the need to have people coming into the home, and people will no longer get estimated bills. But there are other benefits to having a smart meter. So we're sharing that information out for people as well. We're also working with a number of local initiatives, particularly Warm East Sussex and Energise Sussex. And both these organisations are helping people to reduce their energy bills by doing home energy efficiency tests. They're supporting people with having draft proofing and damp proofing put into homes, helping with repairs to faulty boilers, but also looking at switching providers to get cheaper tariffs for their bills. Now, what we are aware is that to apply for these, you often have to be online, and a lot of older people don't access the internet or don't use the internet. So if you know of any older people who are having problems with their heating their home, they can give us a call and we can do a direct referral to the organisations and get them to contact the older person directly. We are also helping people to apply to get themselves on the Priority Services Register, and this is both for fuel companies but also for their water company. Being on the Priority Services Register makes somebody who is vulnerable a priority for that organisation. So if there's a power cut or there's a burst main and then there's a restriction in service, the people who are on this list will get priority. Any person who is retired can be on the Priority Service Register, along with people who are disabled or people who have children under 5. It's definitely worth being on that register if you're eligible to. And we can help by putting that application in for people. We also checking with the water companies that those on pension credit or low incomes get their eligible money off their water bills. So if you have anything around this, please do give us a call and we'll be able to support you or an older person with getting on the Priority Service Register or accessing any of the services. One of the biggest things that we do is provide welfare benefit support to older people. Last year, the team, although we're a small team, we helped people to claim £1.2 million worth of unclaimed benefits for older people. What we do, if people aren't sure what they're entitled to, we can do a detailed benefit check to ensure that they are getting what they are due. And if it highlights any benefits that they're not claiming already, then we can help to fill those in. Now, in the past, we used to do this face-to-face, but as we're only doing telephone support, we can still do that. So we will get the application forms, gather the evidence with the client, and then we will fill the form in whilst we talk to the client over the phone. So if you know anybody who's not sure whether they're entitled to any money or they're struggling financially, then get them to give us a call and we can certainly help them try and claim any benefits that they're entitled to. As I said, we're a telephone callback service, so give us a call on 01273 476 704, and the information and advice team are available Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 AM till 3 PM. You can also email us at information@ageuk.eastsussex.org.uk, and if you leave your telephone number, then we can also call you back if that's what is preferred. So if you know anybody who needs our support or would like to find out whether they're entitled to any more benefit, then please do get them to give us a call. Thank you.